Did you know that in Iceland, summer can offer 24 hours of sunlight, while winter barely sees any daylight? It's a fascinating country where volcanoes, glaciers, and the unthinkable exist side by side, where you might casually bump into the president unwinding in a public hot spring. And Icelanders are fearless when it comes to love. They even have an app to check family ties, just to avoid dating a distant relative. And that's just the start. Want to discover more mind-bending facts? Join us as we explore 15 mind-blowing facts about Iceland in today's travel documentary. Number 15. The Frozen Land. Iceland, often called the Land of Ice and Fire, sits in the North Atlantic Ocean near the Arctic Circle, distant, detached, and proud of it. It spans around 103,000 square kilometers, making it slightly larger than Hawaii, yet packed with extremes. Here you'll find fiery volcanoes, towering glaciers, and black sand beaches that look straight out of a fantasy film. Summer hits different here, with 24 hours of sunlight and breezy, cool air, while winter is super cold, brutal, but not unbearable, thanks to the Gulf Stream keeping things manageable. Despite its dramatic landscape, Iceland is home to just 400,000 people, fewer than many big cities. And it's not just small, it's tight-knit and incredibly Nordic. The population descends mostly from Vikings, and they've kept their ancient language alive, Icelandic, one of the oldest, most unchanged languages in the world. Don't worry though, nearly everyone speaks fluent English, so it's easy to navigate. Iceland is raw, wild, and low-key, one of the coolest places on Earth, literally. Number 14. Land of Norse Goddesses. In Reykjavik, it's not uncommon to pass women who look like they've stepped straight out of Norse legend, icy blue eyes, flawless skin, and that effortless strength you can't fake. But it's not about appearance alone. Icelandic women are sharp, independent, and completely in charge of their lives. They run companies, raise kids solo, write novels, and trek glaciers without blinking. Dating here is refreshingly honest, but with such a small population, chances are high you might match with a cousin. To avoid awkward family dinners, Icelanders use a homegrown app called Icelandic app to double-check genealogy before things get romantic. And yes, many Icelandic women are open to dating foreigners. Nationality doesn't matter, respect does. If you're genuine, committed, and real, you're already ahead. Loyalty runs deep here. If you're wondering how to connect with Icelandic women on apps or social platforms, you're not alone. Drop a comment with 5 and we'll pass along a few tips to help you make friends the right way. Number 13. No ants, no mosquitoes, no problem. In Iceland, one thing you'll notice right away, there's not a single mosquito buzzing around and no ants crawling across your picnic. We mean, like, seriously. This isn't a fluke, it's science. Iceland's extreme and unstable weather plays a major role. The constant shifts between freeze and thaw make it impossible for mosquito larvae to survive long enough to become adults. Combine that with volcanic soil and cool, short summers, and you get a natural insect shield. Most countries spend billions fighting mosquito-borne diseases, setting traps and spraying chemicals. In Iceland, you walk through the wilderness without needing bug spray or swatting the air every 5 seconds. It's not just pleasant, it's peaceful, especially when you're trying to sleep, hike, or soak in nature without a single insect disrupting your vibe. No ants in your kitchen, no itchy bites after a walk. It's one of those low-key Icelandic perks no one talks about. But once you experience it, you'll never forget how clean and bug-free life can feel. Number 12. A real Viking village. In northern Iceland, there's a recreated Viking village where people don't just reenact history, they live it. It's not a theme park. It's a real immersive setup that mirrors how Norse settlers lived centuries ago. You'll see turf-roof houses, wooden structures, traditional Viking meals being cooked over open flames, and crafts made entirely by hand. What makes it stand out? You're not just observing, you can jump in. Visitors get the full experience, chopping wood, weaving, tool making, or baking flatbread on hot stones. During festival season, it gets even wilder. People suit up in full Viking armor, join mock battles, and celebrate like it's 900 AD. At Christmas, the village transforms into a celebration zone with Viking-style boat races and combat shows. It's high energy, historically rooted, and unforgettable. Whether you're watching or taking part, you'll feel the grit, power, and pride of Viking culture. It's a rare blend of raw tradition and real people keeping their heritage alive, not just for show but for meaning. Number 11. The beach without sunshine. Reykjavik is Iceland's most surreal black sand beach, tucked along the southern coast near the village of Vik. There's no golden sun or tropical breeze here, just dark waves, basalt stacks rising like fortress walls, and an eerie cinematic beauty that stays with you. It's about 180 kilometers from Reykjavik, a 2.5-hour drive through lava plains and snow-draped hills. Once you arrive, it feels like walking onto another planet. The ocean here doesn't play nice. Waves can slam the shore with 12-meter force, and the wind shows no mercy. This is no sunbathing beach. But it's not just the scenery that makes Reykjavik special. In Iceland, personal freedom and respect for space are deeply embedded in daily life. You'll find people lounging, walking, or even meditating on beaches like this, completely undisturbed. As long as you don't bother anyone, you're free to enjoy the outdoors your way. It's not just legal, it's cultural. Same vibe you'll find in Denmark and Sweden too. Alright guys, now let's move to number D's. Iceland sits. Elf Protection Agency. Yes, it's real. In Iceland, elves aren't fairy tale leftovers. They're respected, seriously. So much so that major construction projects have been delayed, rerouted, or scrapped totally to avoid disturbing their supposed habitats. Over half the population either believes in or won't deny the existence of Huldufolk, the hidden people. So when a road project near Reykjavik was set to pass through an area believed to be sacred to elves, the protests weren't some fringe thing. Locals spoke up. Plans changed. There's even an unofficial group led by Ragnhildur Jónsdóttir, often referred to as the elf communicator. She's worked with city planners to ensure progress doesn't mess with elf territory. In a country leading in tech, genetics, and education, this deep respect for old-world mysticism is wild in the best way. You'll find Icelanders who code by day and leave food out for forest spirits by night. It's that blend of science and superstition that makes this place unlike anywhere else. Number 9. Life in Reykjavik. Reykjavik moves to its own rhythm, quiet in some ways, vibrant in others. During daylight, locals sip coffee in cozy corner cafes, push strollers down cobbled streets, and ride bikes through neighborhoods where painted rooftops meet sleek glass buildings. It's a calm, warm vibe, even when the air is cold. The city might be small, but it knows how to live. You'll find geothermal pools, art galleries, indie bookstores, and a lifestyle that balances modern convenience with community roots. Icelanders love being outside. Whale watching in Faxaflói Bay or heading to the Blue Lagoon is just a typical weekend. At night, everything flips. Reykjavik's nightlife comes alive with rooftop bars, live jazz, EDM, and karaoke. Yes, karaoke is basically a national sport here. People sing at bars, in homes, and even while relaxing in hot springs. The scene is wild but warm. It's never over the top, just genuine. Reykjavik offers a mix of chill and chaos, but always in the best, most human way possible. Number 8. The Viking DNA Vault. When people think of cutting-edge genetic science, they usually picture Silicon Valley or German labs, not a cold volcanic island. But Iceland, with a population of just over 400,000, runs the largest human genetic database per capita in the world. The company at the core of this effort is Decode Genetics, backed by strong national support. Their mission to collect DNA samples from Icelanders to track inherited diseases and identify early genetic markers, many tracing back to Viking ancestors. As of now, over 2/3 of the population has voluntarily contributed their DNA. That's wild participation. This isn't just a scientific flex, it's a national source of pride. Iceland uses its data to help fight cancer, heart disease, and Alzheimer's before they even develop. It's all secure, all regulated, and all focused on protecting future generations. Want to know what Viking bloodline you come from? In Iceland you can. No other place on this holy earth gives you that kind of access to your ancient past through modern tech. Number 7. Alcohol isn't sold in supermarkets. If you're in Iceland and craving a bottle of wine or a six-pack, don't head to the supermarket. It won't be there. Alcohol is sold only through government-run stores called Vinbúðin, and they operate under strict rules. These aren't 24/7 convenience shops either. Hours are limited, especially on weekends. This might seem unusual if you're used to grabbing drinks from your local grocery store in places like the US, UK, or most of Europe. But there's a reason behind the system. Iceland takes alcohol regulations seriously to reduce overconsumption and protect public health. You'll find Vinbúðin locations in nearly every major town, and the variety is decent, but spontaneous beer runs aren't really a thing here. If you plan to host a party or just want to unwind, stock up early. Iceland's approach isn't about restriction, it's about moderation. And despite the tighter access, locals still enjoy their drinks just a little more responsibly than most places. Number 6. Breathtaking travel destinations. Iceland is stacked with landscapes that don't look real. One of its most iconic is the Blue Lagoon, a milky geothermal spa surrounded by volcanic rock, where the water feels like silk and the view looks painted. It's more than skincare. It's an outdoor spa experience that feels like stepping into another world. Then there's Vatnajökull National Park, home to the largest glacier in Europe. Ice caves here glow with electric blue light, forming temporary tunnels and halls sculpted by nature itself. It's a must for climbers and anyone chasing something unforgettable. But it doesn't stop there. Land Monalager in the highlands is like a dream for hikers. Think colorful rhyolite mountains, natural hot springs, and trails that twist through lava fields and emerald lakes. It's raw, wild, and stunning. These aren't just scenic spots, they're experiences that stick with you. Iceland's beauty doesn't beg for attention. It just sits there quietly blowing your mind. Number 5. Hot tub culture. In Iceland, hot tubs aren't a luxury, they're a lifestyle. Public geothermal pools are woven into the fabric of daily life, from morning dips to evening soaks. The average temperature sits perfectly between 37 and 40 degrees Celsius, ideal for both relaxing and opening up. These aren't stiff spa experiences. You'll find neighbors catching up, strangers chatting like old friends, and sometimes even the president casually soaking beside you. There's no hierarchy in the hot tub. Everyone's on the same level, literally and socially. It's one of the few public spaces where people completely unplug, share stories, and form bonds. The warmth isn't just physical, it's emotional. Hot tubs here aren't just about wellness. They're places where Iceland's famously strong community ties stay alive. If you're visiting, don't miss the chance to jump in. Bring your towel, be open to conversation, and you might leave with more than just soft skin. You might walk out with stories, insight, and maybe even a new friend or two. Alright, now let's head over to number 4. Iceland sits. Most unusual festivals. Iceland takes celebration to a different level. The country is packed with unique festivals that mix music, culture, and tradition into something unforgettable. During events like Iceland Airwaves, Reykjavik transforms into a music lover's playground. Concerts spill out from clubs into tiny cafes, old warehouses, and public spaces, creating a vibe that's raw, energetic, and full of soul. It's held right in the heart of winter, but no one seems to mind the cold. The city glows with creativity and sound. Another crowd favorite, Beer Day, celebrated on March 1st, marks the end of a decades-long ban on beer in Iceland. Bars across the country pour pints like they're toasting freedom itself. People gather, talk, and drink not just for fun, but to remember how far they've come. These aren't gimmicky tourist events. They're real, heartfelt, and deeply rooted in Iceland's identity. If you ever plan your visit around local festivals, you won't just see the country, you'll feel its heartbeat. Number 3. Escaping the world. Scattered across Iceland's untouched terrain are tiny wooden cabins, hand-built homes far from traffic, Wi-Fi signals, and the noise of modern life. These aren't weekend getaways. For many Icelanders, this is real living. Off-grid cabins powered by wind, warmed with firewood, and supplied with fresh spring water reflect a deeper cultural choice, living slow, intentional, and close to nature. You'll find these cabins deep in the wilderness, often only reachable by hiking trails or rugged 4x4 paths. They're symbols of peace, freedom, and a personal bond with Iceland's raw beauty. Some Icelanders live in them full-time, even in winter, relying on natural resources instead of modern utilities. The tradition has roots in ancient Viking values: resilience, self-reliance, and harmony with the land. Today, over 300 self-built cabins are dotted across the country, standing as quiet monuments to a culture that values solitude and simplicity over noise and speed. It's not about disconnecting from the world, it's about reconnecting with what really matters. Number 2. Icelandic cuisine. Iceland's food scene is built on tradition, simplicity, and bold choices. One staple you'll find everywhere is sky, a thick, creamy yogurt that's been a part of Icelandic diets for over 1,000 years. It's high in protein, smooth in texture, and usually served with berries or honey. Another dish worth trying is Icelandic lamb soup. Made with root vegetables and slow-cooked herbs, it's warm, hearty, and comforting. You'll also come across plates of fresh cod or salmon, often cooked without heavy seasoning to preserve the natural taste of the sea. But Icelandic cuisine doesn't stop at the ordinary. There's one dish, once considered a national treasure, that's now banned due to conservation laws. Curious what it is? Let's just say it's not for the faint-hearted. What stands out most in Iceland's culinary culture is how rooted it is in survival and nature. It's not just about eating, it's about preserving history, using what the land offers, and honoring age-old techniques that kept generations alive. It's an amazing country. Number 1. The real cost of living. Living in Iceland isn't cheap, but it offers something many places can't match: stability, safety, and clean, sustainable living. Rent for a one-bedroom apartment in central Reykjavik might set you back around $1,200 a month. That may sound steep, but when you factor in the lifestyle, it evens out. Utilities like electricity, water, and internet average about $200 thanks to geothermal and hydropower. Iceland's clean energy sources keep the air pure and the environment intact. Groceries run roughly $300, $400 if you cook at home. Public transport, about $100 monthly. Gym memberships range from $50, $70. Put it all together and you're looking at a monthly budget of $2,000, $2,500 for a solid, healthy lifestyle. Add to that almost no crime, no military, and some of the most beautiful nature on Earth, and it starts to sound like a fair trade. For those planning to stay long-term or retire, the visa process is pretty clear. Show stable income and insurance, and you're already halfway there. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.